Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another Breakfast with Blaha. And today we're having fat-free Greek yogurt, frozen cherries, almond butter. One of my more common breakfasts. No, I'm not interested in your input, by the way. Keep your opinions to yourself on how you think I can make it better. I don't care. Now, let's talk about soreness. A lot of people out there seem to think that being sore is a good thing from training, it's indicative of growth or whatever. And the thing that we need to realize is that having muscle soreness is not a guarantee that you got stimulus. A lack of soreness is not a guarantee that you didn't get maximum training stimulus. And here's the problem. People try to pretend it's a positive thing, right? Well, I want to get sore because then I know I really work the muscles, or they'll pretend it's a goal. To which my response is your goal to get bigger and stronger, or is your goal to get sore? Because they're two completely separate things. Because again, it comes with a misconception that DOMS equals muscle growth. And it's not always true. It can, meaning it can be correlated, but there's no causation. And it's certainly possible to stimulate maximum growth with zero soreness. And I'll get the same thing from some of my younger clients who are newer to training. They'll say that, oh man, I got sore from that workout. I'm glad. I'm like, why? Why would you be glad for that? It's not a positive thing. You like hurting? Do you enjoy that? I mean, you get off to it. I mean, if that's your kink, there's easier ways to get sore than lifting weights. A lot easier ways to, hurt yourself or have someone else hurt you. I mean, if that's what you're into, I'm not judging. But they'll say that like it's a positive thing. It's not. In fact, I would argue it's a negative thing, and here's why. It impacts motivation. It impacts, which again, I'm not big on motivation, but it can start to make you not want to train. If you hurt all the time for months or years on end, you're not going to want to keep doing this. Number two, if you're hurting, it can impact your next workout negatively. We don't want that. So the question we've got to ask is, what causes soreness and what can we do about it? All right, number one, novel training response. Added a new movement in. You guys notice a lot of times when I add in certain new movements, I'll do 2 sets and I'll stop. I won't do a third set. Why do you think that is? Because I don't want to get real sore from it the next day. Now, I sometimes get sore for the reasons that I'll discuss in this video, but I'm not trying to get sore. In that novel training response, if I do enough training volume to stop just short of that, I'm still going to get a training response. And we need a workout to adapt to a new movement sometimes, and then the next workout we can push up the weight and the volume. But novel training response can cause it, particularly if it involves any of the other factors that we're going to discuss next. That overlap will absolutely cause it. All right. Such as a heavy eccentric overload, a lot of stretch reflex, a lot of volume. All right, number two, volume is too high. And the volume meaning not so high that you can't recover. The volume is too high relative to what your current work capacity has been. In other words, if you've been doing 3 sets of an exercise and you go to 5 sets, you might get sore. Probably should have done it more gradual. You could have added a 4th set instead of adding 2 more sets. All right, because going from 3 to 5, that's a substantial increase in volume. It's over a 60% increase in volume. It's a lot. Add 1 set. Or someone that you've been doing 5 sets total for a muscle group, 5 or 6 sets, and you go to 9 or 10. Might cause some soreness, right, in that target muscle group. But doing too much volume, again, you probably didn't necessarily gain more muscle. You wanted to just add volume is a form of overload. You could have added one set and got it. Bam, got a new training response. Didn't need to add a bunch of volume. Back, if it makes you sore on your next workout and impedes performance because you don't feel 100%, psychologically, it hurt your gains. All right, number 3, too low a training frequency. Classic leg day. Guys who only train their legs once a week instead of legs being 50% of your workout days, as they should be. Guys who have a leg day. Low frequency. If we don't train often enough, we get more sore. Well, that's definitely not associated with muscle growth. Having a suboptimal volume, training too little, that doesn't make you grow, but it'll make you sore. Then what happens if people do excessive volume with it? Well, if people come in and they only have one leg day, what do you think they do? They do a bunch of junk volume half the time. And then they can't walk the next day. Right? The leg day meme. It's actually indicative of terrible training. It means you don't know what you're doing. Because if you knew what you were doing, you wouldn't have only one leg day and do excessive volume on it. So that almost needs its own video again. The leg day meme. What else? Excessive eccentric loading. You focus really hard on doing a lot of negative work. Well, negatives only cause hypertrophy up to a point. May or may not be helping you on the muscle growth. It's kind of a neutral one. It could be good or bad. So what do we do about all this? Well, the other one is under recovery. Under recovery from the volume you're doing. So how do we fix this and not get sore? Watch your training volumes. In other words, focus on quality of training rather than volume. Again, I've already made videos. You shouldn't need more than 10 to 20 sets of muscle group per week. Unless you're blasting a bit here on the sauce, then you can get away with more. It's not optimal. Stop doing volumes you can't recover from. Okay, if you're getting sore, adjust the volume. Reduce it slightly. There's a solution. Getting sore because your frequency is too low, well, you need to be training every muscle twice a week anyways. Fix it. Novel exercises. Well, don't come in and try to push a bunch of novel exercises to the bleeding edge. Don't take them to the absolute limits on a new movement, especially multiple ones in one workout. You're getting sore. The other one, quit focusing on excessive negatives. They don't even help you grow more. Like, the evidence for it is not what people seem to think it is. They help up to a very small extent. And having controlled negatives on most of your movements, sure, can absolutely improve muscle growth. No one's denying that. Really slow ones or excessive negative focus doesn't. It's just making you sore. And in some cases, producing less hypertrophy. So these are easy fixes. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.